We've all simped. It's happened. Now, simping is like cocaine. It's like heroin. It's like any kind of drug where you take it and it's bad for you, okay? If you get addicted to it long enough, you get addicted to it. The problem with us being true, force, and alone, by the way, this is the second special. Isn't that nice? I found things to talk about. And I'll find something to talk about on Sunday. I'll have a two-part topic on PacMan coming Thursday night, so stay tuned for that. But I did do a Justice League Snyder Cut post. Everybody else has been posting about that. But let's stay on topic here. Now, when we simp, what we're doing is we're compromising our time for her. The girlfriend, the classmate, the girl we work with. Now, what becomes a problem isn't that we simp to try to get a girl to date us. It is when we simp for a girl that we don't see anymore or we've never met and she's never met us. And it gets bad and creepy. And as I said before, when I addressed the bullies and the hazers and the harassers and the trolls and the bullshitters earlier this week, I said I used to stalk girls on campus. Now, part of the reason I did that was because they never talked to me very much. When someone lies to you, that goes for everyone, lying or not, they talk to you like this. Oh, it's like this. Oh, it's like that. Oh, it's like here. Oh, this thing, that thing. That's it. They don't talk to you for very long. They kind of just want to talk and get it over with and shut you up and be on their merry way. And that triggers us to be possessive. And that causes a problem within us to want that version of that girl, to want that version of her that we create in our heads, but doesn't really exist. And so whether you're Mario, could be one thing, or you're even Pac-Man, and Pac-Man's another example. You know, Pac-Man will worship the ground that Miss Pac-Man walks on. And it's one of those things that you admire everything about her. You want to know everything about her. You want to embrace all the things she is because she has a hot body. You know, you got people like Pokimane and Lauren Alexis, who has some good videos. You've got Destiny FOMO. You've got Invader V. You've got all these girls who want you to give $5 on Twitch. It's really sad. And you know, you don't, as for far those females go, you don't want to create a Streisand effect. Thanks to you, It's a Gundam, because I do watch your videos. It's a Gundam is a great content. Watch It's a Gundam. If you watch It's a Gundam, you're going to know way more about these Twitch thoughts than I can tell you. But as far as that goes, you have to remember that this is an addiction that we put upon ourselves. We are chasing females that virtually do not exist. They are either celebrities or stars. Now, in my 20s, and there were times where I relapsed in my 30s. And I think around the time that I was trying to get into acting with, somewhere you can look up Maestro Drake and Vampire Masquerade on Google, and you might find me there somewhere. But when I did that, that was the last time I was trying to talk to a famous female. I did talk to my co-stars, but they didn't like me very much. Most people didn't. So it's a problem. It's an addiction. You know, kind of like when you have people playing Zelda. You know, you got all those anime lovers who like The Legend of Zelda, and they try to find Zelda. You're Link the hero. That kind of thing happens. You want to admire everything about Zelda. Truth is, it's hard. It's very difficult to get your way. It's very difficult to get the things you want. Pardon me. This is a difficult thing to do because I have to balance things. I have to put things correctly. You can never get this right. You're always going to get it wrong. But yeah, it's difficult to admire her and never get a response. That's how it is. So I personally feel that what you need to do is you need to talk to as many females as possible. talk to as many women as possible. But the most important women are the women you're going to meet, and they want to meet you, and they want to see you. Some of them may be married. My only advice is if you're going to do that, it's one and done. You don't want the husband coming to your damn house. You don't want the live-in boyfriend to come into your damn house. Remember this. So it can be a very toxic drug. It can be a very harsh drug. And I would say that when you're considering who to talk to, who to be, like I said, I made that mistake of talking to one female. You got to talk to many of them. You got to change it up. You got to always change it up so that one of them is going to talk to you, because 90% of the time we're going to get rejected by females. It's going to happen. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. You cannot change her mind. She's going to make up her mind. I remember Tom Likas, when, the days when he was a very good radio talk show host, the girl will know within the first 15 seconds of a blind date, she'll know what you're about. I went on blind dates. I didn't like them. I wasn't for them. I felt that I meet these girls, they were never sexy. They were never cute. Okay. Whether it is Zelda or not, or it could be Donkey Kong. Sometimes Donkey Kong goes on a blind date and he thinks he's going to get Candy Kong. Remember Candy Kong? But instead of getting Candy Kong, he gets this weird California Raisins kind of reject. You end up getting the Banana Girl. That can happen. That could definitely happen. So you get catfished a little bit. You get the girl that, I think that happened to me once, where I got this one ugly picture of a girl in one chat room discussion. And it was actually some weird, deformed looking girl who was deaf. No problem with the deaf, but it's like, you can't do that. So whether you're writing letters to her, you're following her on Twitter, you're following her on Facebook, you're following her on Snapchat, TikTok, Pinterest, it's very easy to want to follow people on social media you've never met, but stick to the ones you can meet. Some people with Tinder and iCupid and Zoosk, it's a gamble. You're guessing. You guess you're going to get that girl. You guess you're going to, like I said, you put her on a pedestal. You guess you're going to get that person. And I remember the first time I went on a blind date. Now this was in 2000, I think, or 2001. It's hard to remember, I think, because that was months before the towers fell. And in some cases, the girl chases you, and that could be a harsh thing. If you're Sonic the Hedgehog and the girl's Amy Rose, that could happen. But I remember the first time, it was like, her name was Paula, and she was about 5'1". I kept picturing this girl that I used to chase on college campus, but she ended up having a boyfriend. She changed from one boyfriend to a new boyfriend, like changing clothes. Like she couldn't have a bye period of about a few months. No, it's like some people jump from one girlfriend to the next girlfriend, one boyfriend to the next. This happens when you're in your 20s. When you're 40s, like, what the fuck are you doing? So that can happen. That can definitely happen. And so I think that when I met her in person, Paula looked like a pudgy kind of midget. Well, shouldn't say midget. That's offensive, right? Little person. She looked like a pudgy little person. She didn't look very beautiful. So that can happen. It's difficult, and some people, you might get lucky. You might get that, you might be able to steal the married wife, If you're, for example, Jessica Rabbit, you might be able to get the pretty girl. If you were like, not the most handsome guy in the world, maybe you're King Hippo. Maybe you are that kind of person to get that kind of attention. And it matters or not. But it all depends on, who your friends are, who your best friends are, what you look like, how much money you got. But even then, there is the fine line between desperation, what you end up getting, and what you keep searching for to not be alone. And that is the fact that we have a high divorce rate in this state, California. It's like more than 60%. All over the country, it's like more than 50%. So desperation can consume us. So what you have to do is you have to find yourself in the hobbies that you like, whether they're board games, whether they're video games, whether they're toys, whether it's watching the Snyder Cut on HBO Max, whether it's watching Stargirl. How about that Stargirl? How about, was it named Breck Bassinger? Ooh, that's a nice one. I'm going to tell you, she has a nice body. She's 20 years old. I'm old enough to be her dad. I'm checking her out, and she has a good body. But be very careful. You know, these girls, most of these girls are fat material. Don't get to know them unless you can really afford to. And even if you can afford to, if they just want you for your money, all you have to do is just, just turn them off. Turn them off like a switch. Don't even worry about it. So that's all I'm going to talk about as far as what we simp. We're all going to do it. Whether we have a girlfriend or a fiance or a wife, we're all going to simp. We have all done it. There's nothing wrong with it except when it consumes you. Then you really do become a simp. You defend girls no matter what. And this is the time now to wake up from that and to say, fuck that, I'm going to do for me. And when doing things for her doesn't become a chore, or doesn't go, that when it doesn't go against your principles, if you're defending her principles at the cost of your own, that's when you need to wake up and do things for you. Go to the bar, go outside. Fuck this coronavirus. Just go out and do things, okay? And then just the rest will happen for you. But she's going to find you attractive when you show that you can defend her. I think that's more important than anything. If there was a moment where you can protect her from the bad things in the world, even if you don't have a lot of money and you're not the most attractive person, she'll start to look at you differently. The problem with that is that it takes a hypothetical situation, but don't create that. Don't get yourself in trouble. But show her that you're worth a damn. Now, there is someone I'm talking to that I've proven my worth, but she may or may not be with someone. Someone I talk to is, I don't think she's taking, she's a coworker of mine, but I don't think she's serious about dating. I think she just wants a text buddy. So I talked about this before. I think I'm just going to kick her to the curb. That's it. I mean, there's just nobody serious. So I am still having TFL issues, and I know you are too. So stay tuned for PacMan videos. Until then, stay safe, stay at home until you get tired and psychotic and then go outside. But don't do anything I would not do.